What if you could lease a robot for just $300 a month, about $10 a day, to do all your chores? From cleaning to mowing the lawn, even changing diapers someday. Sounds like a fantasy, right? But how close are we really to having robots as everyday helpers in our homes? You will know it after today's exploration. In 2025, robots have quietly become a normal part of life in many homes around the world. Right now, the home robotics market is worth a huge $20 billion, and it's growing fast. Most of these robots don't walk or talk like in the movies, but they do important jobs like cleaning floors or watching over your house. In fact, about 75% of home robots today are built for two main tasks: cleaning and security. They vacuum your carpets, mop the floors, wipe windows, or act like smart security guards with cameras and sensors. This robotic revolution is happening right under our noses, with many people not even realizing how quickly it's moving. Companies like Tesla, 1X Technologies, Apptronik, and Meta Robotics are leading this wave of innovation, designing machines that are getting smarter, more useful, and more human-like every year. This is just the beginning. Today, they vacuum. Tomorrow, they raise your kids. We're not talking about imagination anymore. We're on the edge of a robot revolution in your living room. So, when does it all become real? Sooner than you think. At the 2025 Global Developer Conference in Shanghai, humanoid robots casually wowed the crowd by kicking a soccer ball, sewing clothes, baking fresh bread, and even greeting people with handshakes. Then cut to a regular afternoon in Santa Monica. You're walking down the sidewalk when you see this tiny six-wheeled thing zipping past you. It's called Coco, a cute delivery robot rolling its way to drop off someone's takeout. The first time people saw it, they stopped and smiled, maybe even took a photo. But fast forward to today, they are grumbling. Ugh, move it, Coco, you're in the way again. That's the thing, technology always starts with awe, but eventually it becomes part of everyday life. If that's what robots are doing in 2025, what will they be doing in your home by 2030? By 2030, experts say we'll have around 40,000 humanoid robots in operation. And not just as showpieces. These bots are expected to replace as many as 20 million production jobs worldwide. The entire robotics industry could explode into a $90 billion empire. 1 in 3 households may have their own domestic robot. That's not a maybe, that's the projection. And these aren't just floor sweepers. We're talking full-service machines, robots that can wash dishes, do laundry, prep meals, clean rooms, and even provide elderly care. Yes, that means they can help grandma get around, monitor her health, and even keep her company. It's not just about the cool factor either. Prices are expected to drop by at least 50% by 2030. A humanoid robot that costs around $5,000 today could go for just $1,500 or even lower. With leasing options, the price might come down to just $10 a day. That's less than a fancy coffee. Imagine paying just 40 cents an hour for a robot that never sleeps, never complains, and doesn't sneak into the break room to gossip. More than this, governments are jumping in too. In aging countries where more elderly folks live alone, some are offering subsidies to help pay for care bots. By 2030, it's expected that 25% of elderly individuals could be using robot-assisted services. Meanwhile, in Turkey, companies like AIinEveryHome and AIinEveryRobot are building friendly bots for stores, events, and restaurants. You might be ordering your shawarma from a robot in Istanbul sooner than you think. Private companies aren't staying quiet either. Vestal Ventures is throwing big bucks into AI and EVs, working with firms like SplitVolt to make a seamless AI-powered lifestyle. Their big vision is Smart Life 2030, a world where robots, electric cars, and your smart fridge all talk to each other while you sit back with your feet up. Some experts believe this will happen even faster. On a recent podcast, futurist Peter Diamandis shared that you can grab his free robotics report if you're into 60-page deep dives. He talks about 20 leading robot companies and says there are 2 main regions running this show, the United States and China. The country's Made in China 2025 initiative placed robotics as a top national priority, and they've turned that blueprint into one of the most aggressive technological offensives the world has seen. In Shanghai, President Xi Jinping has called on engineers and developers to fuel China's rise to technological dominance. And with over 4 million STEM graduates each year, China has the manpower to do it. At Agobot's state-of-the-art training center, Director of Testing Ruan Cheng boldly claimed that every home in China will have a robot by the end of the decade. These aren't just machines, they're part of a state-backed cultural and industrial transformation. On the other hand, Tesla's Optimus robot is a major player. We've already seen Optimus 2, and version 3 is in the pipeline. Both Elon Musk and Brett Adcock agree on something big. By 2040, we might see 10 billion humanoid robots on Earth. That's more robots than there are people. Sounds ridiculous, right? But let's not forget that there are only about 1 billion cars in the world, and Elon now says Tesla might be known more for its robots than its vehicles. Elon also said at a summit in Saudi Arabia that these robots will be in homes by 2026 in beta mode. By the end of the decade, everywhere. That leads to an obvious question. If China and the US are building this robotic future at such scale, what happens to the rest of the world? Can others keep up, or will this become a two-player game with global consequences? More importantly, even if only 2 countries lead, what's stopping them from exporting robots like smartphones, flooding the world market, and reshaping labor, homes, and society everywhere? But here's the most underrated part. If this actually happens, the world could be racing toward a future where robots fully replace human labor. Imagine a world where the cost of labor drops to near zero, because machines are not only cheaper, but also faster, smarter, and more efficient than any employee. Global GDP could explode. We're talking about robots that don't sleep, don't take vacations, never call in sick, and never ask for raises. Sounds like a utopia, or is it a dystopia in disguise? When robots replace humans, what happens to us? There's already a social reckoning on the horizon. Years ago, Bill Gates proposed something radical, taxing robots. His logic was if machines are taking jobs, they should help fund a universal basic income to keep society afloat. Sounds reasonable, but society runs on emotion, not just logic. But is there any concern regarding this robotic revolution? Let's face it, when we picture a robot in our home, we imagine something between Wall-E and Iron Man's Jarvis. Sweet, helpful, maybe even witty. But as cool as that fantasy is, there's a twist in this robot revolution that we can't ignore. If your robot folds your laundry, makes you breakfast, and then sends your private conversations to a data center in another country, not so charming now, right? We're entering a world where robots can listen 24/7. Every step, every sneeze, every awkward bathroom karaoke session recorded. And if your home bot gets hacked, boom. Your life's an open book, and who's setting the rules here? Nobody. It's like letting toddlers run a nuclear plant. But what happens when they act better than us? Imagine you need surgery. 2 people walk in. One is a tired surgeon with 30 years of experience. The other is a robot that's performed 10 million procedures, flawlessly, pulling from real-time global databases of every medical event happening on Earth. Which one do you trust? We've already seen this happen. Neuralink's first human surgery was done with a robotic arm, not a human, and it worked perfectly. So here we are. Just 10 years ago, we wondered if AI could form a sentence. Now we're asking if robots should raise our kids, drive our cars, or care for our elderly. In 2025, they wowed audiences in Shanghai. By 2030, they'll be in 1 in 3 homes. And by 2040, they might outnumber us. So, yeah, robots are coming. No, they're already here. From factories to families, hospitals to highways, the robotic revolution is rewriting reality. And yet, we're still not talking about the human part enough. Yes, robots might replace 20 million jobs. But what if they also free us? Free us from repetitive, soul-crushing tasks. Give us time to focus on art, relationships, community, creativity, and even joy. But only if we prepare. Are we really ready? Not just to own them, but to live with them responsibly, ethically, and fairly. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We're talking ethics, AI, and everything in between. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives.